Your mental image of E3 probably looks a lot like an EA press conference. There are sports stars, there are rap artists, there's spoken word poetry, and there's a whole lot of noise. What did we see today? We saw all of the above. We can break it down into two sets because there are now two engines that are kind of the backbone for most of EA's games. There is EA Sports and there is everything else. EA Sports, we saw Madden, we saw soccer, we saw men beating the crap out of each other, and we saw Dana White, who trash-talked EA so hard only a few years ago, come on stage and say this UFC is gonna be the best one yet. On the other side, we saw the Frostbite games, and those are the games that are going to be powered by DICE's Frostbite engine. That's a new Need for Speed. It's called Need for Speed Rivals, and it looks a lot like a Need for Speed game. That's Battlefield 4, and sometime down the line, eventually, Star Wars Battlefront, which we saw a very short snippet preview CGI thing of. My guess is that game is 2, 3, 4, never years away. We also saw a little bit of Mirror's Edge 2, and when I say a little bit, I mean a very little bit. That was may have been gameplay, may have been CGI, but it is a hint of a game that people have been looking forward to for a very long time. What we didn't see were any new properties. Everything that was shown pertained to something that already exists. Even the new third-person shooter was, ironically enough, a Plants vs. Zombies shooter game. There was a new RPG, but that was a new Dragon Age. There's an absence of newness that has kind of been familiar to EA over the past few years, kind of stopping after the original Mirror's Edge. Also, celebrities. Because what better way to pull focus from your games than celebrities? We saw a basketball player with a basketball. We saw Drake, who is a rap artist, who also Amanda Bynes likes. That's about as much as I know about Drake. And we saw Jesse Pinkman, my favorite character from Breaking Bad, who also happens to be in the Need for Speed movie, which we saw a little bit of behind the scenes from, and I'll be really honest with you, it looks a little bit more like Torque than it looks like Need for Speed. Torque, for those of you who haven't seen it, is bad. But what did I like? That's a good question. Well, I like the theoretical prospect of games that may come. Mirror's Edge 2, there were no guns in it. That could be great. Star Wars Battlefront, it could be anything. We didn't see much of it besides something from Hoth, so that could be really awesome too. And you know what? I love sports games. And I'm gonna buy Madden every year because I'm one of those people who's part of the problem, but I don't care because it's the only chance my Kansas City Chiefs have winning the Super Bowl. Titanfall. It's the game from Respawn. We saw a little bit of it at the Microsoft event earlier, and it looked like a shooter with mechs and people, and I was kind of excited. But here, we learned all about this like it's a multiplayer game. It's trying to encapsulate the single-player experience. Can it do it? I have no idea. I haven't even touched it. But I'm excited. That's it, guys. I'm a sad human being trapped in a ball of flesh, and I'm sweltering under the LA sun.